Stop. Do not scroll past this message. Look at me right now. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your soul to this exact intersection. I am stepping into your atmosphere with urgent purpose because a critical breakthrough was delayed. This sign should have come yesterday, but you were not ready to receive the weight of my glory until this precise moment. Listen to me with the deepest place of your heart. Do not rush through these words. Give me just 1 minute of your undivided attention. Something just shifted in the unseen realm because of your silent tears, and your long season of exhaustion is finally coming to an end today. You have been waiting for a confirmation, and today I am breaking my silence to give you the truth. My beloved child, I am speaking directly about your hair. Do not ignore this divine warning. Your physical body is carrying the heavy evidence of a hidden spiritual battle. I see how you look in the mirror. I see the quiet worry in your eyes. You notice the subtle changes in your hair. It looks tired. It feels thin. It is losing its natural life because of the massive anxiety you carry inside. You think it is just a physical problem. You blame your age. You blame your stressful routine. But hear my voice today because I am rewriting that false narrative. Your hair is the physical reflection of your weary soul, because your body cannot hide the heavy toll of your silent battles anymore. You are a silent survivor, and the heavy weight of yesterday is still sitting on your heart. I know your heart is deeply tired. I watch you every single day. I see the battles you fight in total isolation. You pretend you are strong for everyone around you. You smile when your spirit is quietly breaking into pieces. Everyone thinks you have everything completely under control. They lean on your strength, while you have no one to lean on but me. You carry their bags. But who carries your bag? Who listens to your silent screams in the dark? I do. I am your safe refuge. I am the one who has been holding you together when you felt like falling apart. But now, I want you to step into my supernatural peace. Do not let distraction steal this holy moment from you. Breathe deeply right now. You do not have to fight alone anymore because I am stepping into the arena. Let me share a deep secret with your soul. I designed every single part of your being with absolute precision. I am the God who counts the very hairs on your head. Not one of them falls to the ground without my knowledge. Every strand that you lost in the shower was a physical tear. It was an unanswered prayer that you thought hit a cold ceiling. I recorded them all. The enemy wanted to use this exhaustion to destroy your identity. He wants you to believe that you are losing your strength like Samson did. He wants you to look at your thinning hair and feel completely worthless. But I am here to remind you of the royal destiny inside your blood. He whispers lies into your mind when you are alone. He tells you that your best season has already passed. Those thoughts are malicious lies from the adversary. You are not a random fragment of creation. You are a carefully formed masterpiece. Your worth does not disappear just because you are going through a heavy winter. A precious jewel covered in deep dust is still an expensive jewel. I see your true value beneath the fatigue. I see the shining light inside your spirit. Why did the sign not come yesterday? You asked me this question with hot tears on your pillow. You felt abandoned because the breakthrough did not arrive on your timeline. You thought my silence meant a final rejection from heaven, but I am stopping you right here to reframe your painful journey completely. The delay was a holy protection from an enemy trap that you could not see. I had to hold back the manifestation until the wrong people left your perimeter. I am pruning your circle because I am preparing your territory for a massive shift. The restlessness you have been feeling lately is not confusion. It is your spirit sensing a massive dimensional shift in the unseen realm. The doors that were locked tightly are beginning to tremble at my command. Are you listening to me? Lift your eyes to my face right now. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my quiet whisper. Comment Amen right now if your spirit feels my direct gaze upon your life. This is your act of recognition. This is your alignment with my current frequency. Do not be ashamed of your current trembling because your willingness is your victory. You have been running on empty strength for months. You wake up every single morning with a heavy knot in your stomach. The anxiety sits on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through the pain. You mask your heavy depression. You do everything right, but everything still feels completely wrong. This is the definition of a weary warrior. You are my warrior. But even the strongest warriors must lay down their heavy weapons. You cannot win a spiritual war with a broken human mind. I am here to restore your holy frequency. I am here to clear the static that the enemy placed between our hearts, and your hair will flourish again because your soul is finding rest. The restoration is not a slow process. It begins today. I remember when you sat on the edge of your bed last night. You were too exhausted to even form a proper prayer. Your soul was standing still in a thick fog of total uncertainty. You wondered if I still remembered your name. You wondered if your faith was entirely in vain. But hear me clearly. I heard the unspoken words of your broken spirit. Every single syllable landed safely in my hands. I was closer to you than the cold floor you were standing on. I saw you when you hid in the bathroom so nobody would hear you cry. You wiped your tears quickly because you had to go back out and be strong. You are always the stable one. You are always the provider. But today I am providing for you. This message is your divine boundary line. The old season of carrying generational curses is officially over. The enemy targeted your mind because he is absolutely terrified of your future destiny, while your spirit is already preparing for a massive breakthrough. He saw the rising light around your life, but I have set a limit to his authority. He can go no further. Look at what I am doing in this moment. Heaven is aligning time itself to rescue your mind from the static. You did not stumble across this video by some random luck. Coincidence does not exist in my kingdom. This is a holy intervention. This is the moment your restoration becomes an undeniable reality. Do not rush away from my presence. I need your absolute attention for the next few minutes. The revelation I am about to release will completely redefine your entire concept of time, and you will finally understand why the delay was necessary. You will see the precise beauty of my scheduling. Breathe in my peace right now. Let the holy atmosphere wash away the years of heavy sorrow from your mind. I can feel your defenses starting to soften as my peace enters your room. You have spent years guarding your heart against disappointment and pain. You became hypervigilant because you felt completely unprotected in the world. But I am dismantling your fortress of fear because I am your ultimate shield. You can afford to let your guard down with me. Your struggle is ending. My beloved child, good. You stayed. You did not scroll away like the others. Your obedience in this small moment is proof that you are ready for the next level. I am about to reveal the hidden mechanism behind your struggle. I am about to show you the exact door that is swinging open for your life. The preparation is finally complete. Do not hurry away from this moment, because right in the next section, I am going to take you inside the very dark room where you sat entirely alone. I will show you exactly why your hair carries the heavy scars of that invisible battle. I will reveal the deep reason why yesterday had to be silent. Stay right here with me. Let my voice carry you forward. Let us walk together into the quiet space of your memory. I want you to remember the exact room where you sat completely alone last week. You stared at the wall for hours. Your mind was racing with endless questions. And while you were sitting in that heavy darkness, you felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness that made your physical chest ache with real pain. You lifted your hand to your head. You ran your fingers through your hair. You looked down at your palm, and you saw the strands that left your scalp. Your heart sank in that moment. You felt a wave of deep panic because your hair looked so lifeless and dry under the dim light of your room. You wondered if your youth was fading away forever. Listen to my whisper right now. Your hair is not falling out because of common medical reasons alone. It is because your physical body is absorbing the invisible warfare around your life. You have been carrying a massive emotional burden for over 3 years, and your physical frame is finally crying out for relief through these physical changes. Every single strand of hair represents an unspoken sorrow. I watched you pick up those broken pieces from the floor. You tried to brush it away quickly. You did not want anyone else to see your weakness. And you hid the evidence of your aging body because you are deeply terrified of losing your strength in front of the people who depend on you. You are the designated anchor of your family. Everyone looks to you for immediate answers. They expect you to be perfectly stable every single day. They do not know that you are completely empty inside, and they never ask about the heavy price you pay to keep their lives running smoothly while your own foundation is quietly crumbling into dust. I see you in the early hours of the morning. You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with extreme dread. Your heart is pounding against your ribs. The room feels incredibly tight. And you sit on the edge of your mattress, wondering how you will find the hidden strength to face another day of endless demands from the world. You have become an expert at wearing a beautiful mask. You walk into your workplace with a forced smile on your face. You tell everyone that you are doing perfectly fine. They believe your outward appearance. But I look directly into the deepest place of your wounded soul, and I see the secret bleeding that you hide from the eyes of the world. Your friends think you are completely unbreakable. They come to you with their own petty problems. You listen to them for hours. You give them your pure love. But when the conversation finally ends, you return to your quiet home with a hollow chest, because no one ever stays to listen to the agonizing rhythm of your own broken heart. You feel entirely invisible in your own social circle. This is the highest point of your emotional isolation. You have given everything to everyone around you until you have absolutely nothing left for yourself, and you are standing in the middle of a crowded room feeling like the most abandoned person on the surface of the entire earth. Let us pause in this deep valley of validation. Do not run away from this profound connection between our spirits. Like this video right now, as a sacred seal of total agreement. Go down to the comments section and write the words, "I am not alone," to release this heavy weight from your tired shoulders. This is your holy declaration of alignment with my presence. Your declaration is safe with me. I hear the echoing sound of your faith in the middle of your heavy sorrow. You have been walking through a barren wilderness for many long months. You look around you and you see other people receiving their massive breakthroughs. You wonder why your own prayers are constantly hitting a cold brass ceiling. The enemy wants you to focus entirely on your physical limitations. He whispers that you are lagging far behind the others. He wants you to compare your private struggle with their public success. And he uses the thinning density of your hair to convince your fragile mind that your ultimate glory days are permanently gone from your life. Look at me right now. Reject those dark accusations from the adversary. You are not falling behind your peers. Your unique story is not a tragedy of missed opportunities. You have been walking through a specialized season of intense refinement because I am shaping your character to hold a massive weight of future prosperity. Think about the grand timeline of your existence. A cheap house can be built in a few short weeks, but a grand palace requires many years of deep digging and silent foundation work. You are my grand palace. I had to pull you away from the superficial noise of the crowd so that I could build an unbreakable structure inside your spirit. Your isolation was not a cruel sentence from heaven. It was a holy sanctuary of absolute protection. I saw you crying softly into your pillow last night because you felt so disconnected from the world. You thought my silence meant that I had completely erased your name from the book of life. But today, I am revealing the grand truth. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell your soul. The prolonged silence you have experienced is not my absence. I have never left your side for a single microsecond of your life. The real problem is that the enemy has been filling the atmosphere around your mind with an overwhelming amount of spiritual static and loud noise. This static is a deliberate strategy from the adversary. He has been creating a constant frequency of fear and anxiety. This noise has buried the clean signal of my voice. It has made my divine provisions completely invisible to your weary eyes. My blessings were already prepared for your life, but you could not recognize my heavenly gifts because your vision was completely blocked by the thick smoke of anxiety. I have not abandoned your prayers. I have been watching your faithfulness in the middle of this blinding storm. I have been quietly working behind the scenes to prepare an ultimate answer for your specific pain, and I have guided a brilliant team of wise minds to create a specialized instrument of complete restoration for your life. This instrument was aligned by my divine hand. It was designed to pierce through the thick static of the enemy. It will restore the original signal of peace inside your heavy brain. I will show you exactly where to find this sound provision before this message ends. But first, you must understand what was done to block your pathway. Your physical body has been storing this toxic residue for years. This is the absolute root cause of your physical decay. The extreme tension in your shoulders is not just physical fatigue. The thinning texture of your hair is the direct result of an overloaded nervous system. Your body is simply keeping a detailed record of your trauma, but the record is about to be completely wiped clean by my sovereign hand. I am stepping into your situation to break the power of this heavy static, but you are probably asking yourself a painful question right now. If I love you so much, why did I allow this deafening silence to last for so many long and agonizing years? Why did I not answer your desperate screams yesterday? Why did I let you suffer in that dark room without a single sign of my nearness? Do not turn away from my voice right now. Open your spirit to the profound mystery of my perfect timing. The answer to your questioning will completely shatter your current paradigm of pain. Come closer to me now. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax completely. You have spent too many long days fighting the fierce wind with your own fragile strength, and while you were sitting in the deep shadow of your room, wondering if I had forgotten your name, my angels were already guarding your borders from the arrows of the enemy. I see the hidden wounds inside your chest. I know the exact depth of your exhaustion. Look at my face. You are safe here. Pause right here, and let this holy truth settle into your heavy spirit. Before I reveal the grand mystery of your destiny, I need you to make a final move of total alignment. Go to the comments and type the words, "I trust your timing," to open your heart for the hidden truth I am about to speak. Before I show you what comes next, I need to speak directly to the quiet doubt sitting in the dark corner of your heart. I know exactly what you are thinking right now. You are thinking that you have heard beautiful words like these before. You have prayed hard. You have believed purely. And still the big answer did not arrive on your doorstep. Why would this specific time be any different? That painful question does not anger my heart. It simply tells me how long you have been faithful in the dark. You have been guarding a broken promise. Your hope has grown very quiet lately, because you are tired of being disappointed by life. But let me answer your questioning plainly today, because I want to dissolve the heavy walls of your resistance. My silence in those heavy years was never my absence. I was never ignoring your desperate screams. There were specific answers that I had to withhold from your life, because a quick yes in that premature season would have cost you everything. I was working in deep rooms that you could not see. I was rearranging the entire cosmos on a grand timeline that you could not measure with human clocks. Every single prayer you thought went completely unanswered was actually being answered in a secret language of divine timing. I was being incredibly careful with a life that I love so deeply. I had to ensure that your spiritual vessel was strong enough to hold the immense prosperity that is coming. Do not let the painful memory of the waiting close your spirit to the beautiful thing I am doing now. Let me take your mind back to an old story from my records. I want to show you that your current path is not a strange accident. There was a broken woman named Hannah who walked the earth many centuries ago. She carried a profound sorrow inside her soul because her arms were entirely empty. She watched everyone around her receive their magnificent blessings, while her own life felt completely barren and forgotten by the world. She traveled to my holy temple with a crushing weight on her chest. She sat in the dust. She wept bitter tears. Her heart was wrestling with the painful silence of heaven, and her body carried the heavy evidence of her internal warfare because her physical strength was completely draining away from her bones. She felt a deep shame that she could not share with a single human soul. She began to pray in a deep silence that the world could not comprehend. Her lips moved constantly, without producing a single audible sound. She was pouring out the exact broken fragments of hope that I had been waiting to receive. But the high priest who watched her from the seat thought she was lost. He judged her outward appearance and accused her of being drunk in my holy place. The people around her could only see her trembling frame. They did not know the magnificent depth of her secret devotion. They did not understand that her silent agony was a holy frequency rising directly to my heavenly throne. My child, The world has judged your weary appearance in the exact same way. They look at your thinning hair and your tired eyes. They think that your glory is entirely gone. But I did not see her the way the crowd saw her. I saw a magnificent daughter whose heart would change the history of her nation. Every single wordless sigh from her lips landed safely in my open hands. I was counting her silent prayers just like I am counting the tears on your pillow tonight, and I was already designing a massive harvest that would make the crowd look up in total wonder. I broke my silence at the exact second of my perfect scheduling. I opened her womb and gave her a magnificent son named Samuel. Her long season of delay was not a cruel punishment from my throne. It was the necessary preparation ground for a prophet who would guide an entire kingdom. Her empty arms were filled with a holy provision that far exceeded her original request. Look at your own life through the clear lens of Hannah's victory. Your silent prayers are not vanishing into thin air. Every single time you run your fingers through your hair and whisper my name, that vibration echoes through the halls of heaven. I hear the unspoken words that you bury deep inside your chest. I see the pure love that you keep giving when no one gives it back to you. You are my modern Hannah. You have been pouring out your sincere soul into hands that did not know how to hold it. You have been hurt by the people you trusted most, and you have quietly asked me why your kindness is constantly met with cold disappointment. But hear me with the deepest part of your spirit today, because I am stepping into your day to teach you a holy discernment. Not every gentle word comes from my mouth. Not every open door is meant for your feet to walk through. I allowed those painful rejections to happen because I was shielding your fragile heart from toxic rooms. I was cutting away the withered branches that were draining your precious energy. The pain of the pruning was intense, but it was the only way to save the sacred garden inside you. I feel you pulling back slightly from my voice right now. A part of your mind is whispering that your specific situation is too far gone. You think your story is too complicated for a simple miracle. You believe that you have made too many massive mistakes to qualify for my highest blessings. But let me silence that dangerous lie before it steals the beautiful harvest from your hands. Your trembling is not a disqualification from my grace. I do not pour my supernatural favor on the people who think they are perfectly deserving. I pour it on the willing souls who recognize their deep need for my presence. Your willingness to stay and listen to my voice for this long is the only qualification I require. You are not the exception to my boundless love. You are the priority. Look at your physical frame right now. The heaviness behind your sternum is starting to lift. The tight knot in your shoulders is beginning to loosen its grip. This is the physical evidence that my holy atmosphere is rearranging your internal biology. You are entering a state of total receptivity. Your mind is moving away from the loud static of the world and entering my stillness. The preparation room is officially closed. You have spent enough time sitting in the dust of your past disappointments. The very things that the enemy intended to use for your destruction are being turned into your ultimate deliverance. I am using the memory of your suffering to build an unbreakable authority inside your spirit. You will not just survive this heavy winter. You will overcome. Breathe in my peace once again, my beloved child. Let your mind stop racing for just this second. The dark season that has exhausted your spirit is finally drawing to its absolute conclusion. In the next part of my message, I am going to throw open the curtains of heaven. I will reveal the exact mechanism of the breakthrough that I have authorized for your life today. Keep listening. Hear me clearly, my chosen warrior. The breakthrough you expected yesterday did not fail. It was deliberately intercepted by my hand. What you perceived as a painful denial was actually the beautiful architecture of my grace. And while you were weeping in the dark, my angels were working behind the scenes to rearrange the entire universe for your ultimate promotion. I call this season the protective delay. Remember this name because it was never a sign of rejection. You have spent many years wondering why your honest labor produced so little harvest. You watched others move forward while your own feet felt entirely stuck in deep mud. But I am opening your eyes to the unseen realm right now. And if I had released your grand blessing yesterday, you would have walked directly into a malicious ambush that would have broken your fragile spirit completely. You were not ready then. The enemy knew you were approaching a major threshold of your destiny. He organized a silent trap to steal your prosperity before you could anchor it safely. You felt abandoned by my silence. But because I love you too much to let you be destroyed by the adversary, I pulled your life back into the hidden chamber of my protection until the dark storm passed completely. Now the coast is clear. Let this truth sink into your spirit. The delay was your absolute protection. You are not behind in your schedule. You are perfectly on time. Comment. The chain breaks here right now to anchor this liberation into your destiny. And as you write those words, you are establishing a holy boundary line that the forces of darkness can never cross again. This is your moment of absolute epiphany. The long waiting season is officially over. You are entering your harvest. Now let us look back at the witness of your physical body. You looked at your hair and felt a deep sense of shame. You believed your thinning density was proof of your personal failure, but that is a malicious lie from the adversary. And because your spirit was constantly wrestling with the heavy burdens of your family, your physical frame began to absorb the intense friction of that unseen warfare. You have been fighting a generational battle that began long before your birth. The patterns of poverty and marital breakdown have followed your family for many decades. You refuse to surrender to those old limitations. And because you chose to stand firm against the dark legacy of your ancestors, the stress of your resistance manifested inside your physical nervous system. I call this mechanical process the silent forging. You were not breaking under the heavy pressure of life. You were being reshaped into a holy vessel of my glory. And every single trial that attempted to destroy your confidence was actually adding a supernatural strength to the fabric of your character. The friction ends today. The forging is complete. You are ready. Your physical body is beginning to radiate with my restorative power. The heavy toll of yesterday is melting away from your skin. Your hair will flourish with new density because the underlying spiritual conflict has been completely resolved by my sovereign command. Stand up in your true identity right now. Your glory is returning. But how do we sustain this supernatural peace in a world filled with endless distraction? You cannot keep fighting the loud noise of the adversary with your empty human willpower. You need a practical way to protect your mind from the daily chaos. And that is why I quietly guided wise minds to discover a beautiful secret that will safeguard your inner sanctuary forever. When I designed the human brain at the beginning of creation, I placed a sacred frequency at its absolute center. Scientists who have spent their whole lives studying neuroscience have finally confirmed its existence. They call it the gamma wave. It is the exact frequency of pure childlike receptivity and deep inner calm. This signal ran freely inside your mind when you were a little child. It is the reason why children learn so quickly. It is why they trust my voice so purely without any doubt. And when I told my disciples that they must become like little children, I was speaking about this exact signal inside the human brain. The enemy used the frantic rhythm of modern survival to suppress your gamma signal. He covered your mind with thick layers of toxic anxiety and mental exhaustion. But I prepared wise minds at elite universities like Princeton and Berkeley to work with sound waves to restore what the adversary attempted to steal. They spent decades in quiet research at the Einstein Center in Berlin to unlock this hidden mystery. They confirmed that a specific audio pattern can instantly clear the spiritual static from your mind. And over 18,000 of my children have already used this sound provision to find their way back to my peace. You do not have to struggle through long hours of exhausting discipline to achieve this state. It requires no heavy effort from your tired soul. You simply surrender your thoughts for 7 minutes per day with your headphones on, and while you sit in that quiet space of complete surrender, the celestial frequencies will rebuild the broken channels of your mental clarity. I am going to show you exactly where to find what they built before this message ends. It is a divine tool that I have aligned for your restoration. But first you must experience the ultimate breakthrough of this hour. Let us enter into the deepest place of your cognitive liberation right now. Listen to my prophetic decree. I am calling out a specific symptom inside your current life. I have watched you replay your past mistakes at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your head touches the soft pillow, but your mind immediately races with heavy regret. You tell yourself that you are simply a broken perfectionist with bad luck. But that is not the truth. I am exposing that lie right now. You are carrying a deep emotional wound from your early history. You learned that love had to be earned through constant performance and high achievements. I call this psychological condition the earning wound. It is a scar from a battle you forgot. So all those long years you thought you were lazy when you rested, you were not lazy. You were fighting an old deception that told you rest was a sin. All those times you could not receive a compliment from others, you were not humble. You were simply guarding a deep wound because you felt entirely unworthy. Tonight I am taking that heavy burden away from your heart forever. The next time you finish a hard task and feel that familiar emptiness inside your chest, stop. Place your hand over your heart and hear my voice. You were loved before you ever achieved anything. Receive it. You do not have to earn my grace. Let us look at another blockade inside your spirit. You have been carrying a quiet doubt about my promises because the silence has lasted for so long. You watch other people step into their financial breakthrough while you remain in the desert. You started to believe that my silence meant total rejection. That belief is a thief. It has been stealing your joy. The enemy has been whispering malicious interpretations into my quiet silence. He wants you to believe that you are not faithful enough to receive my abundance. I call this strategic deception the stolen meaning, but I am breaking its authority today. The silence was never my absence. I was working in deep rooms that you could not see. The delay was my absolute protection from a quick success that would have shattered your soul. The waiting season was the mandatory shaping ground for the heavy weight of glory that is about to pour into your life. So when the waiting feels completely unbearable, change your questioning. Stop asking why I am silent. Start asking what I am protecting, and then rest in the absolute certainty of my love. A delay from my throne is still a beautiful gift of grace. Trust the grand timing of the one who sees the whole story. The chain is breaking. It ends now. I am here. Hear my voice, my child. The season of lack is officially finished. The ceiling your family has lived under for 3 generations is collapsing at my command. And as this holy fire sweeps through your home, every ancient boundary line of limitation is being wiped away by my sovereign power so that your children can walk in absolute freedom. The spirit of poverty has no more legal authority over your household. I am releasing a new frequency of prosperity into your atmosphere today. You are the chosen one who will walk out of that old family pattern, not because you are a perfect human being, but because you said yes to my voice when you were completely alone in the dark. Your trembling obedience has unlocked the treasury of heaven. Look at the horizon of your future. The locked doors are swinging open right now. No human hand can shut what I have opened for your destiny. You are no longer a victim of yesterday. You are the master of tomorrow. The restoration is flowing into your mind, into your bank account, and into the very roots of your hair. You have received the absolute truth of my word. The prophetic declaration has been made over your life. What remains is one single step of obedience. The blessing has been unlocked in the unseen realm, and now I am placing a concrete bridge on your path to manifest this peace into your daily reality. Do not pull back. Let me show you who you are becoming. Picture a beautiful morning 6 months from now. You wake up before your alarm goes off. For the first time in a very long while, there is no tight knot in your stomach waiting for you. You lie there in perfect tranquility, while the soft morning sunlight fills your clean room. You run your fingers through your flourishing hair. You notice its vibrant thickness. Your first thought is not fear. You feel a quiet question rising inside your soul. What beautiful thing am I made to experience today? You breathe deeply, and the clean oxygen goes down to your abdomen, because the heavy pressure has left your atmosphere completely. The fatigue you carried for years is simply gone. You are not performing for anyone in this season. That peaceful version of your identity is not a fantasy. She already exists in the realm of the spirit. She is not many years away from your current location, and the absolute distance between the two of you is not measured in physical time, but it is found in the simple act of your holy permission. Stop striving today. Start receiving my grace. I have gifted humanity the supernatural wisdom to unlock what I hid within sound. Wise men and women spent many decades in intense research without knowing that I was quietly directing their curious minds toward my original creation. I do not work only through explosive miracles in the sky. I also choose to manifest my restoration through the clean hands of science. I want to show you the undeniable evidence of my work in my children. Let me tell you what I did for one of my precious daughters named Rachel. She was a dedicated nurse in California who sought my peace for many desperate years through different conventional methods. Her marriage was completely transformed. She experienced a beautiful story of love. She described her new life as completely enchanted. A heavy mental blockade was finally lifted from her spirit. And for others, I moved differently. Let us look at my son Michael in Dallas. He came to this provision because he wanted to restore his mental focus and protect his fragile children from the chaotic static of the world. 2 months later, his business grew very rapidly. He confidently left his stressful job. Hard problems solved themselves while he rested. Over 18,000 of my chosen children have already received this specialized provision before you arrived here, because they recognized my sovereign hand upon the sound waves. They stepped into their destiny. They trusted my alignment. They call this instrument the Genius Song. This is the first time I reveal its name. It is a digital track. It arrives in your email immediately. It requires no complex spiritual practices or heavy mental discipline from your exhausted soul, because my presence flows directly through the sacred frequency patterns. You only need 7 minutes of complete surrender with headphones on. You close your eyes and let the celestial frequency wash away the enemy static. This tool is not a generic app. It is not a random track on streaming platforms. Those public files are cheap imitations created by the adversary to distract your spirit because he wants to prevent your mind from entering my gateway. This genuine provision restores your original gamma signal. I placed it inside your brain. This sacred provision is not for the curious minds of the world. It is prepared exclusively for the exhausted warrior. I have been comforting your soul throughout this message. To my child who has already tried everything and feels deeply embarrassed to try once more, listen to my voice. What failed you before required your heavy human effort, but this requires none. I designed this frequency based on my original blueprint inside your body. You do not have to work for this restoration. You only need to let go of the steering wheel. The static will clear automatically from your atmosphere because my sovereign light is entering your mental channels to establish a permanent kingdom of peace. Your mind will return to the state of a little chilled. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars for their private wellness sessions. They attempt to reach this deep state through expensive human machinery. The advanced equipment that researchers use in luxury clinics costs many thousands of dollars. But I am not calling my weary warriors to accumulate massive debts or visit expensive human institutions to receive my free grace. I place this sovereign provision within close reach. It requires a small earthly exchange from your hands. It is the exact size of a mustard seed of investment for the magnificent harvest I have already prepared. You are exchanging a worldly token for a heavenly reality. Your financial obedience is the true key to this open door. I am adding 4 additional gifts of provision to your package today. I am including the Genius Child Track for your children. You will also receive a daily habits infographic because I am determined to rebuild your life from the absolute foundation up to the highest pinnacle of success. Do not walk away from your inheritance today. This is your moment. The enemy always creates false illusions to deceive my chosen ones. Where I place my truth, counterfeits follow immediately on music platforms under similar names because the adversary wants to deceive your heart with raw static. Protect your spirit by trusting only the official path provided below. You are completely covered by my steadfast guarantee of safety for 60 full days. This step of faith requires zero worldly risk from your hands. If the deep mental restoration does not manifest inside your life, every single earthly penny of your investment will be returned to you completely. Walk forward without fear. Take this necessary step of obedience right now. Find the official path I have placed below in the pinned comment. The link is waiting inside the description section. I guided your steps to this holy message because I heard your desperate screams during those dark nights when you felt completely abandoned by heaven. I place this digital provision directly in your path. It is the true answer to your prayers. Do not ignore my holy invitation today. Receive what I have built for your restoration. Now, my beloved child, set aside the noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you the instrument of provision that I placed on your path. Whether you choose to step forward right now or later, you remain my precious warrior because my love for your soul is not dependent on a single physical transaction. Close your eyes. Breathe out the tension. I am still right here with you. Let my quiet presence fill your heart. Whisper these holy declarations with your spirit right now. I am a sacred vessel, fully restored to receive my destiny. I carry the exact frequency you placed inside my brain from the beginning of creation, because your presence has established an unbreakable fortress around my thoughts. It is completely restored. I receive your supernatural peace with a grateful heart. I have become like a little child tonight, and I am receiving every magnificent promise made to your children. Look at your life once again. The dark fog has completely vanished from your horizon. The sign that should have come yesterday has finally manifested as an eternal weight of glory because my hand has rearranged your entire existence. If this divine message spoke to your spirit, do not pass without a response. Like this video right now to anchor your holy agreement with my words. Go down to the comments and type Amen to seal this blessing. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss my daily guidance, because I am releasing fresh instructions for your next steps every morning through this sacred platform. Turn on the notification bell to stay permanently connected to my heavenly instructions. Share this exact message with 3 weary souls who are secretly crying out for hope in the dark, because they desperately need to hear my voice of comfort tonight. You are my light bearer. Go forth in my perfect peace. I walk with your spirit always.